How long has it been since you went to the bathroom in peace? I'm not talking about a rushed visit, nor those attempts that end in frustration. I mean that feeling of natural relief, without pain, without effort. That routine that once was automatic and has now become a daily challenge. Many keep it silent. Some force a laugh to stop the tears. But for anyone over 60, talking about constipation isn't an exaggeration. It's real, and it's unpleasant. Sitting for long minutes, watching the clock, clenching your teeth, feeling bloated all day. That's not the kind of golden years you deserve. Imagine an older person, perhaps someone like you, sitting on the toilet in silence. The minutes tick by, but the body doesn't respond. That little corner of the house becomes a place of anxiety, of waiting, and sometimes defeat. But today I want to tell you something. After 60, the body does change. Yes. But that doesn't mean resigning yourself to discomfort. It isn't true that it's normal to feel like this every single day. It isn't true that there's nothing you can do. And no, you don't have to depend forever on pills, laxatives, or endless remedies. This video doesn't replace a medical diagnosis, but what we're going to share today is based on real studies, simple nutrition, and stories of people like you who recovered their well-being without big expenses or miracle formulas. We're going to talk about 5 foods. 5. That can change your digestion, help you recover your body's natural rhythm, and above all, give you back that sense of freedom and lightness you thought was lost. Stay until the end, because the 5th food, the last one, is one of the most powerful, yet often forgotten. And it might be exactly what your body's been craving. Before we begin, let me ask you something. Where are you watching from? And how old are you today? Because I promise you, no matter your age, you can always start anew. And if the issue is constipation, maybe today is that fresh beginning. Now that we've opened this conversation honestly, let's get to the heart of the matter. Why does constipation worsen with age? The answer is more logical than it seems, and more common than you might imagine. After 60 or 70 years, the body changes. And one of those changes happens in something we hardly ever name: intestinal transit. That natural process that carries food from your mouth to the bathroom begins to slow down. A lot. As if the internal train that once ran non-stop now stopped at every single station. And why does this happen? First, because the muscles of the intestine also age. Yes, just as we feel less strength in our legs or less agility climbing stairs, the intestine loses tone too. Its movements, which push digested food toward the end of the line, become slower, lazier. Second, because as we get older, we move less. Daily physical activity, the kind we once did almost without thinking, commuting, walking to the market, playing with grandchildren, diminishes. And less movement in the body means less movement in the intestines. A sedentary lifestyle is, without a doubt, one of constipation's best allies. Third, medications. Many older adults take drugs for blood pressure, bone health, or sleep. And although they help with certain issues, they also carry side effects. One of the most frequent, chronic constipation. And they don't always warn you about it. Fourth, but no less important, fiber. Over the years, many people change their diet without even realizing it. Fewer fruits, fewer vegetables, fewer legumes, and sometimes, out of fear of heavy digestion or acidity, they end up eating highly processed, soft, low-fiber foods. The result? The intestine is left without what it needs to work. But the consequence isn't just not going to the bathroom, it's much more. Hemorrhoids, stomach aches, annoying gas, feeling bloated all day, irritability, lack of energy, and that constant discomfort that ruins every meal, every outing, every morning. Let me tell you a true story. Mrs. Helen, 73 years old, a vibrant, joyful lady, yet she could no longer bear the discomfort. She'd go 3 days without a bowel movement, sometimes 4. And when she finally did go, it was with pain, effort, and no real relief. One day, in a talk just like this, she heard that the problem could start at breakfast. So she decided to change her morning routine. She added something as simple as a spoonful of oatmeal with prunes. By day 3, she already noticed a difference. By day 7, her body began to find its rhythm again. And within a month, she felt like herself once more. That's why I'm telling you, there's no need to resign yourself. Your intestine is like a train, but if the right passengers, water, fiber, movement and care don't hop on, that train stops. And when it stops, your whole body suffers, from your mood to your sleep. So let's talk about this naturally, without shame, without fear. Because constipation isn't something to be embarrassed by. It's a signal that your body needs you to listen. And now that you understand it, you're ready to learn about the foods that can get that train moving again. Let's start with the first food that can make a difference. One as ancient as it is effective, as simple as it is forgotten. The prune. The prune is, without exaggeration, one of the most valuable treasures for improving intestinal transit. Not only because it's natural, but because it combines 3 powerhouse elements: fiber, water, and a special sugar called sorbitol. And why is that so important? First, because prune fiber is mostly insoluble. That means it doesn't dissolve in water like other fibers. Instead, it acts like a soft broom, sweeping your intestines, helping form and move stool without causing harm. Second, sorbitol. This natural sugar has a unique osmotic effect. Simply put, it draws water into the intestine. By doing so, it softens the stool, stimulates intestinal movement, and eases evacuation without causing cramps, spasms, or sudden urgency. Third, antioxidants. Though few know it, prunes have one of the highest antioxidant levels among dried fruits. That means they also help reduce inflammation, protect cells, and boost overall health, always a plus at any age. But as with everything in life, it's all about how you use them. Here are some practical tips. Eat between 2 and 5 prunes per day. You don't need half a bag, just a small portion, but consistently. The best time is on an empty stomach or with breakfast. Why? Because you kickstart your intestine early and help your body regain its natural rhythm from the very beginning of the day. You can combine them with plain yogurt, oatmeal, a slice of apple, or even eat them on their own, chewing them well and savoring them like a little morning treat. Want something even more effective? Try what many call the intestinal elixir. It's very simple. Take 4 to 6 prunes. Soak them overnight in half a glass of warm water. The next morning, drink the water, then eat the prunes. Do this for 5 days straight, and watch what happens. It's as gentle as it is effective, as simple as it feels miraculous. And if you need a real-life example, Mr. Robert, 79, had been battling constipation for weeks. He tried laxatives, probiotics, odd juices, until one day his granddaughter left a jar of prunes in the kitchen. He, skeptical at first, ate 2 each morning. By 10 o'clock he was relieved. After a week, his old routine was back. And most importantly, his good mood returned. Because yes, when your gut is happy, your whole body smiles. So if you haven't yet, give prunes a chance. They're not magic, but they're natural, effective and kind to your body. And now that you know your sweetest ally, get ready to meet the fibriest. The second food will surprise you, especially if you already have it at home and haven't been using it right. Here's the second food that can transform your digestion. Though tiny, don't underestimate it. I'm talking about chia seeds. Yes, those little black pearls that look insignificant, but that when they meet water, become a powerful ally for your intestinal health. Do you know why they're so effective? Because they're packed with soluble fiber, and not just any fiber. Chia has a unique property. When hydrated, it forms a natural gel. That gel has 2 wonderful effects. First, in the intestine, it coats and softens the stool, making it easier to pass without irritating the intestinal wall. Second, it adds bulk. That bulk stimulates the colon walls, activating natural peristalsis, essentially telling your body, it's time to go. But attention. Here's the key part. Chia only works if properly hydrated. Sprinkling it dry over food isn't enough. If eaten dry, it can do the opposite, absorbing water from your digestive system, causing dryness, heaviness, or even constipation. That's why you must let it sit in liquid for at least 15 minutes before consuming. Here are some practical ways to include it in your day. 1 tablespoon of chia seeds in a glass of water with lemon in the morning. Let it sit 15 minutes until gelatinous, then drink it slowly. Mix them into plain yogurt with a bit of fruit. If you prepare it the night before and refrigerate, you'll wake up to a smooth, filling breakfast that's excellent for digestion. Add them to your smoothies. They give texture and an extra fiber boost without changing the taste. You can even use them to make homemade bread or healthy cookies. Just remember to activate them first with water. Still not convinced? Here's a real story. Mary, 68 years old, had been struggling with constipation for months. Each morning she woke feeling heavy, with a bloated abdomen and constant discomfort. She tried many remedies, until someone told her about chia. She decided to give it a try. Every single morning, without fail, she had her tablespoon of hydrated chia in water with lemon. Within a week, her body showed signs of relief. She excitedly told her daughter, "This is my little miracle spoon." And though it may sound dramatic, when you feel your body working normally again, when you stop spending hours in the bathroom waiting for something to happen, any positive change feels like a miracle. So if you haven't yet, give these seeds a chance. They're natural, accessible, and, used correctly, can help more than you imagine. And now that you know the sweetness of prunes and the gel power of chia, get ready to discover a food you probably already have in your pantry but haven't been using to its full potential. Now we arrive at a food many know about, but not everyone uses correctly: oats. And not just any oats. I'm talking about whole oats, the kind that retain all their parts, bran, germ, and endosperm, because when prepared right, they can become one of the best natural regulators for your intestine. Do you know why? Because oats are rich in a special fiber called beta-glucan. This fiber is soluble, dissolves in water, and forms a kind of gel in the intestine that helps soften stool, improve digestion, and keep blood cholesterol and sugar levels more stable. But there's more. Oats also nourish. They don't just sweep and clean. They feed your body with B vitamins, iron, magnesium, and antioxidants. They're, so to speak, a gentle yet nutritious broom for your digestive system. And the best part, they don't irritate. They don't cause cramps or urgency. They work slowly, gently, and consistently. Now here's something very important. Not all oats are the same. Many homes keep instant oats, those flavored packets ready in a minute. While convenient, they're often so processed they've lost much of their fiber and nutrients. The best choice is traditional oats, thick rolled oats or whole oat groats. You can also opt for oat bran, which has an even higher fiber concentration. But how do you include them if you're over 60 and want something gentle, easy to digest, and tasty? Here are 3 ideas that have worked for many older adults. Warm oatmeal porridge. Boil 1 cup of plant-based milk or water. Add 3 tablespoons of traditional oats and cook over low heat for 5 to 8 minutes. You can stir in a bit of cinnamon, grated apple, or even chopped prunes. It's comforting, easy to chew, and perfect to start the day. Oat pancakes. Mash 1 ripe banana, mix in 2 tablespoons of oats and a pinch of cinnamon. Form small patties and cook them on a non-stick pan. They're soft, sweet, and perfect for breakfast or an afternoon snack. Oat water. Place 3 tablespoons of oats in 1 liter of water. Let it sit overnight. The next morning, strain, serve cold or warm, and sip throughout the day. It hydrates, regulates, and is especially useful for those who don't feel like eating but need digestive support. And if you still doubt their effect, remember this saying: starting the day with oats is like giving your intestines a gentle massage. Because oats don't just push, they caress, accompany, and reconnect your body to its natural rhythm. Many older adults who begin having oats daily, even just 3 tablespoons in the morning, notice changes in less than a week. Less bloating, less effort, more regularity, more lightness. And if you combine oats with chia or prunes, you're building a therapeutic, delicious, all-natural breakfast. Now let's talk about a soft, warm-colored sweet fruit that for many older adults has been a true digestive blessing. Papaya, or as some affectionately call it, the fruit that soothes the stomach. Do you know why it has such a special effect? Because it contains an enzyme called papain. Papain acts like a little digestive army that helps break down proteins, eases the stomach's job, and prevents food from stalling in the intestines. This not only improves digestion, but also reduces intestinal inflammation, gas, and that annoying heaviness. On top of that, papaya has a gentle, non-irritating fiber that helps maintain a steady, natural bowel rhythm. And if that weren't enough, it's rich in vitamin C, provitamin A, and antioxidants that strengthen your immune system. Here's a real-life story. Mr. Ernest, 76, used to say that his half papaya every morning was like a clock for his belly. He never missed. He'd sit at his usual table, slice his papaya calmly, and enjoy it as a little ritual. Then he'd relax with his coffee, and an hour later, his body was already in motion. "I don't need a watch. I need papaya," he used to joke. And he was right, because when you find something that works, you don't just enjoy it, you respect it. If you want to make the most of this fruit's benefits, here are some practical tips. Eat it on an empty stomach or as part of breakfast. Half a papaya is enough to activate your digestive system gently. Combine it with 1 tablespoon of activated flax seeds. This boosts the lubricating effect and further helps with evacuation. You can also blend it with a little plain yogurt. The mix of fiber, enzymes, and probiotics can be ideal for slow digestion. Or freeze it in cubes and make smoothies with coconut water or plant-based milk. But a word of caution, not all papayas are the same. When you choose one at the market, look for skin that's slightly yellow and gives a little when pressed gently. If it's too green, it won't have the same digestive effect. If it's overly soft, it's past its prime. Once opened, store it in the fridge, wrapped in plastic wrap or in an airtight container. Eat it within 2 or 3 days to enjoy its freshness. And if you ever get bored, try cutting it into cubes, sprinkling a bit of lime juice and a dash of cinnamon. Simple, natural, and delicious. Papaya is one of those fruits made to accompany us in later years. It demands no effort, causes no discomfort, and day after day, silently helps your body work better. And now, if you've enjoyed these ideas, it's time to meet food number 5, the most curious, the most forgotten, and for many, the most transformative. Because it not only helps you go to the bathroom, it also feeds your good gut bacteria and improves your health from the inside out. We've reached the 5th food, and although the previous ones already offer wonderful benefits, this one has something special. Not only does it help you go to the bathroom, not only does it improve digestion, it works at the root. It repairs and strengthens your gut flora. I'm talking about kefir, a living ancestral ferment packed with natural probiotics that, when you include it consistently, can completely transform your digestive health. Sometimes constipation isn't just about what we eat, but about what we've lost inside. Over the years, the number and variety of good bacteria in our gut decreases. And those bacteria are like tiny invisible workers. They ferment, digest, cleanse, stimulate. When they're missing, the body loses its rhythm. The gut becomes slow, irritable, lazy. And this is where kefir comes in. Unlike traditional yogurt, which is good but more limited, kefir contains a wide range of probiotic strains. We're talking about more than 20 different types of beneficial bacteria and yeasts. And the best part, many older adults tolerate it better than milk or yogurt, even those who are sensitive to lactose. Why? Because during fermentation, those bacteria eat the lactose. The result is a slightly tangy, creamy, smooth, and powerful drink. Let me share a simple but eye-opening story. Elizabeth, 79 years old, had been using laxatives every week for years. First fiber packets, then herbal teas, then drops. but nothing lasted. One day, her granddaughter told her about kefir. Elizabeth was skeptical, of course. "I'm not going to be taking that weird stuff," she said. But she gave it a try. She started with half a small glass on an empty stomach for 3 days. Then she upped the amount a bit. After a week, something had changed. "It's not like I suddenly needed to go. I just went, without even realizing it." She didn't have to strain. She didn't have to wait. Her body simply found its rhythm again. Since then, Elizabeth hasn't needed a single laxative, and you can try it too. Here's how. If you buy it, look for plain milk kefir with no added sugar. Many grocery stores or health food shops sell it ready to drink. If you prefer to make it at home, all you need are kefir grains, also called nodules, and milk. Let them ferment for about 24 hours in a glass jar at room temperature. Then strain, and voila, you have your living beverage. You can drink it straight or blend it with soft fruits like papaya, ripe banana, or a spoonful of raw honey if you need sweetness. That said, start slowly. If your gut is very sensitive, it's best to begin with 2 or 3 tablespoons a day and increase over time. Because at first, when the good bacteria start doing their job, you might notice more gurgling, gas, or even a bit of an intestinal adjustment. That's normal. It's like cleaning your house. At first there's dust, but then everything shines. Kefir isn't miraculous, but if you embrace it with love, consistency, and respect, it can become one of your most important allies for digestive health. And with it, we finish our list of 5 foods. But this isn't the end, because in the next part, we'll talk about how to combine them, how to create a simple morning routine that effortlessly can bring you back the peace and relief you so deserve. Now that you know the 5 foods that can help you regain intestinal rhythm after 60, it's time to bring them together. Because no ingredient, however powerful, achieves much if consumed only once and then forgotten. The secret is consistency. In creating a small daily ritual, as natural as brushing your teeth, yet full of invisible benefits. And the best part is you don't need drastic changes or complicated recipes, just a little order and some self-care. Here's a simple yet powerful routine I propose. A routine many older adults have already adopted, and that you can start as soon as tomorrow. Listen closely. Breakfast. Start your day with a gentle, nutritious, regulating porridge. Oats cooked with water or plant-based drink. A spoonful of chia soaked overnight. Half a papaya, diced. This mix gives you everything you need. Soluble fiber, insoluble fiber, water, digestive enzymes, and a texture your stomach will love. Chia forms a gel that cleans and lubricates the gut. Papaya provides papain and natural sweetness, and oats give you sustained energy without heaviness. Feel free to add a bit of cinnamon or a teaspoon of ground flaxseed if you like, but avoid artificial sweeteners. Your body deserves the real thing. Mid-morning, around 10 or 11, once you've moved a bit, it's the perfect time for a little boost. Eat 2 or 3 prunes, alone, chewed slowly, with a glass of warm water. This simple gesture has been Granny's trick for ages. And it works! Sorbitol acts gently. And if you soak the prunes the night before, you can drink that soaking water too. It's a true intestinal elixir. Lunch and snack. Here you have more freedom, but one clear rule. Avoid ultra-processed foods, white flours, excessive cheese, and too much coffee. It's not about prohibition, but conscious choices. Steamed vegetables, legumes, brown rice, homemade broths. Every choice adds up. Light dinner plus kefir. And here comes the crowning touch. At night, instead of a heavy meal, opt for something gentle. A vegetable puree, a bit of rice with squash, or even a clear soup. Then before bed, half a glass of plain kefir. Drink it straight, or with a little mashed ripe banana if you need sweetness. The important thing is that your digestive system receives those good bacteria, just as your body prepares to rest. Through the night, kefir works quietly, balancing your flora, reducing inflammation, and laying the groundwork for smoother transit the next day. And about timing? Breakfast, within the first hour of waking. Prunes, 2 to 3 hours after breakfast. Dinner, at least 2 hours before bedtime. Kefir, half an hour before turning in. Is it mandatory to follow these steps to the letter? No. Every body is unique. But the more consistent your schedule, the easier it will be for your body to regulate. Because the gut, like a child, needs routine, and when it has it, it responds. One last thought. This isn't about magic formulas. It's not a strict diet or a miracle cure. It's about gentle habits. Small gestures, repeated each day, that send a message to your body. I'm here. I care for you. I haven't forgotten you. And in time, your body starts to respond. It begins to move. And you begin to feel better. Now that you have the routine, in the next part we'll talk about something equally important. The silent enemies sabotaging your digestion, often without you knowing, and how to avoid them. Because what you remove from your plate can also make all the difference. You already have the 5 foods. You already know how to combine them. But one key piece of the puzzle is still missing. What's blocking your digestion, even when you eat well? Because many people over 60 work hard to change their diet, yet see no results. And it's not that the foods don't work. It's because they keep up certain habits that silently undo all their efforts. So if you truly want relief, pay attention to what we're about to share. Sometimes, the most important thing isn't what you add. It's what you decide to leave behind. First, a sedentary lifestyle. Your gut doesn't work on its own. It needs movement. The human body is designed to move. And when you sit all day, your intestines sit with you. What's the solution? You don't have to run marathons or join a gym. Just walk 20 minutes a day. Yes, 20. A stroll at dawn, circling your home, climbing stairs, moving your arms. What matters is that you get your blood flowing. When you walk, your muscles massage your internal organs. And that, without you even noticing, pushes things through your digestive tract. Second, hydration. This point can't be underestimated. Imagine your intestine as a sponge. If you eat fiber but don't drink enough water, that fiber becomes a plug. Yes, you heard right. Instead of helping, it worsens constipation. What's the golden rule? At least 8 glasses of water a day. And if you can, start your morning with a warm glass on an empty stomach with a few drops of lemon. That simple action can kickstart your digestion like clockwork. Third, beware of laxatives. Many older adults fall into this cycle. Constipation, laxative, momentary relief, slower gut, more laxatives. The result? An intestine that can no longer work on its own. It becomes lazy, dependent. If you've been on laxatives for a long time, don't judge yourself. But it's time to start weaning off them with medical guidance, replacing them with regulating foods and movement. Because yes, the gut can be re-educated, and when it learns to rely on your body again, everything improves. Fourth, avoid constipating foods. There are foods that, although delicious, slow down digestion. And if you overconsume them, they cancel out everything good you're doing. Pay attention to these. Excessive cheese, especially aged hard varieties. Constant red meat, much harder to digest. White rice without vegetables. Highly refined breads, dry cookies, pastries. Green banana, which can firm things up even more. It's not about cutting them out forever. It's about balance. Not making them the foundation of your diet. And if you do eat them one day, pair them with plenty of water, cooked vegetables, and a walk. Because in the end, it's not only what you eat, it's also what you decide not to eat. And those small changes make everything else work better. Your prunes, your papaya, your oats will show much more visible results when your body isn't fighting what holds it back. Imagine this for a moment. You wake up one morning without rushing. You open the window, soft sunlight pours in, and you feel light in your body. You head to the bathroom unhurried, without fear, without that uncomfortable tension you've been carrying for days. And it happens. No effort, no pain, no feeling of being stuck. Just relief, just flow. As if everything inside you starts to move again. And with it, your mood, your energy, your day. That small moment, which for many goes unnoticed, becomes a silent triumph. Because after 60, feeling good shouldn't be a luxury. It should be an achievable goal. And yes, it is possible. Your body can still change. Your digestion can still improve. Your energy can still be reborn. It just needs two things: consistency and your willingness to accompany it with love. The foods we've shared today aren't magic formulas. They don't work miracles overnight, but they are faithful allies. And when you integrate them with care, with patience, and with attention, little by little, your body responds. Because it's not broken. It's simply asking for help. Now tell me, which of these 5 foods would you like to try first? The sweetness of the prune, the smoothness of the papaya, the power of the kefir, the strength of the chia seeds, the wholesomeness of the oats? Or are you already using any of them in your daily routine? I'd love to read about it in the comments. Your experience can help others, and your story deserves to be heard. If you found this content useful, if it spoke to you with clarity, respect, and without taboo, I invite you to subscribe. Here we talk about real health, real life. How to care for ourselves with simplicity, love, and common sense. See you in the next video. And in the meantime, take care, eat well, move a little, and let your gut say thank you every day. Because feeling light is also a way of being happy.